Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on Newsx. A spell of heavy rains, thunderstorms and hailstorms has brought Bengaluru to a standstill. Torrential showers, a sudden hailstorm and violent winds all in under an hour have claimed 10 lives across the city, raising serious questions about urban safety and preparedness. The biggest tragedy unfolded at Boring Hospital, where 7 people were crushed to death after a compound wall collapsed. Many of them had simply taken shelter there from the rain. But the deaths didn't stop there. Across Bengaluru, people died due to electrocution, falling trees and collapsing structures, turning what should have been a routine downpour into a deadly disaster. That's the big question now. How does a modern metropolitan city lose 10 lives to rain? The answer lies in a dangerous mix of aging infrastructure, poor drainage, exposed electrical systems and lack of urban resilience. Because this wasn't just rain, it was a stress test. Bengaluru once again appears to have been lacking. Joining us live is Naveen Bhatnagar, former DIG NDRF, Sandeep Aniruddha, convener Citizens Agenda for Bengaluru, is joining us live. Revati Ashok, CEO BPAC, is joining us live. Anurag Naidu, political analyst, is also with us on the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Naveen Bhatnagar. Is this a preventable tragedy that has occurred in Bengaluru?
Yeah, I think there is some problem in hearing. Your voice is very low.
I was asking you, is this a complete man-made tragedy that has occurred in Bengaluru? Is this a preventable tragedy, a man-made one?
Yeah, in the morning also at your channel I have already spoken about it, and here again I will express that the poor construction was there in that particular area. No safety measures were taken because whenever such type of demolition comes or this type of happenings occurs, so police and the other area commissioner of that area, municipal commissioner and other people should take care about it. So anyhow, SDRF, NDRF people are there. They are searching the bodies and the victims from the debris, and the best type of efforts are being made by them to rescue the people from these debris, which are really very shocking. So anyhow, it's a lesson for everybody that in future everybody should take care about it, and they should take adequate measures also. But now this heavy this weather is changing, so rescue operation really it will be very difficult. But anyhow, we have the life locator with us, we have the sniffer dogs, we have the searchlights. So with the help of these things, we can complete the rescue operation very perfect and very sharp manner, because time is the main key factor here.
Yes.
As long as we will do the delay in the rescue operation, the death rate will really go high. But before that, I hope our efforts will take care, and our efforts will be there to rescue the people or to give their lives safe. Yeah.
Sandeep Aniruddha, let me draw you in here. You know, this is really shocking. Complete apathy. Urban apathy is there, staring everyone in the face. The way, people were taking shelter from the rain in this wall, it collapsed in the Boring Hospital, led to multiple people dying. Electrocution has happened. Multiple other people have died due to falling trees. This is really shocking. One rainfall and this is what's happened. It's not even monsoon season yet, Sandeep.
Bengaluru now, oh sorry, are you able to hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, आवाज बहुत slow है.
Go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead, Sandeep.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so see, Bengaluru, if you take a walk around Bengaluru, except for the central parts of Bangalore, which is called the Central Business District, the rest of Bengaluru is basically a concrete lump. You have all kinds of violations taking place. The city government doesn't have any capacity to govern. On a day-to-day governance, if you actually ask, Bengaluru doesn't see any of it. The least we expect from a city government is that, you know, it acts as it acts as a policeman to ensure that all the compliances are done by everybody. Like everybody follows the rules. But if you just travel around Bengaluru now, nobody follows building bylaws. There are encroachments on footpaths, there are encroachments on roads, there are encroachments on environmental assets such as lakes, stormwater drains, you name it. We've lost all our green cover. We'll literally become a concrete desert. And because this combination of lack of governance and lack of preparedness for disaster also, and they go hand in hand. I mean, if you don't, I think the first step of disaster management is disaster prevention, and that prevention will happen only if the city government has a capacity to inspect on a regular basis. Cities worldwide, if you go to Singapore or Dubai or other places, you will have inspectors of the city government inspecting literally every street, every day, multiple times, and they spot any sort of lacuna, any sort of shortcomings, any sort of violations, and they immediately take action, they impose fines, they take legal action. In Bengaluru, you'll be lucky if any of the officials of the ward have traveled on every street even once their entire term, leave alone every day or every week or every month. This is not governance. This is lack of governance. And we are suffering deeply for it. This city is turning into a slum because none of the governments actually even realize that this is what is expected of a city government. A city government has to provide basic government, basic compliance with laws, basic compliance with norms. And if all of this is missing, there's no need to have a government at all. The only thing that our city officials seem to be doing now are just dipping in the till and making money for themselves. Every so-called engineer is only chasing after illegalities only to make money out of them. They're just doing extortion. Nobody is providing any sort of governance, and this is the outcome of it, because the city is badly broken and it needs to be fixed. We have to provide it governance. We don't have governance. That's what the reality is.
Revati, Ashok, let me draw you in here. You know, these incidents keep occurring, but unfortunately, why don't we see any accountability as well fixed? Who will take responsibility for these incidents, Revati, Ashok? Is that why they keep reoccurring?
I know it keeps reoccurring. It started a few years ago, about 8-10 years ago, when Chennai got stranded and people were going in boats, and that was the first time it happened after a very, very long time. This was about 8-9 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And then at that time, we immediately wrote to the government saying, you need a strong urban resilience plan and flood resilience plan. And it requires a series of actions like Sandeep mentioned. First of all, we are building without any thought to how it's become an urban jungle. Without understanding, the city has one urban planner. I'm glad now with 5 different corporations, each corporation has 3 planners, one urban planner, one urban designer, and one more urban architect, I think. So they have 3 positions available. The good thing is, going forward, hopefully they are given the level of respect and autonomy. What we do going forward will be better than what we have done in the past. But we are suffering for actions that we have done in the past, which I 100% agree with Sandeep. The center of city looks very, very different from, you draw a radius and go 6 to 8 kilometers radius. You draw a circle and go beyond that, and you will see the mess everywhere. And you don't have to go too far.
Yes.
But strangely enough, it's the center of the city which also bore the brunt. So even where there has been best of planning, even where a lot of attention has been given, so we can see the extremes in climate. And climate change is for real. I think the government doesn't fully understand and appreciate the extreme climates that we can face. So even in so-called well-planned areas like Church Street, you're seeing a total mess, MG Road. Now, if we are not taking cognizance of what is required to arrest this level of extreme climate change, the heat that we saw in the last 10 days, was going to result in something like this. Now, when the corporation insists that all the drains must be cleared,
Yes.
is anybody monitoring whether these drains are getting cleared properly and the silt which has been put out is actually being cleared immediately,
Okay.
and the drains are then getting properly
It's,
closed.
yes, it's not being monitoring. There is not a system in place, is what you're saying,
So
which
unless,
is why this
we
is
have to
happening.
use
Anurag Naidu,
technology.
Anurag Naidu, let me quickly draw you in here as well. Anurag Naidu, come in here on why you believe this apathy exists in the system, why this monitoring is not constantly happening, why we are not proactive. We are often reactive. Now there will be an inquiry, there will be questions raised. Why was this proactiveness not done earlier, Anurag?
We don't have a mechanism, we don't have, there's nothing called proactiveness, there is nothing called preparedness for monsoon, there's nothing called organization system. We don't have it in our complete administrative framework at all. And now, even if you want to have it, your fiscal state does not allow you. What you have to understand is we are more and more moving towards a socialist economy. We are moving more and more moving towards freebies. We spend about 65, 70,000 crore a year on freebies. And where will you get the money to do all these things? Because you are, if you see the GBA, Greater Bangalore Authority, or even the state government, they're reeling under the stress for cash. Where will you get all this money to even plan for any redevelopment? Last year around, there was erosion of roads. There were a lot of potholes. And then Mr. Shiv Kumar, he took it that, that they're going to make a world record and they're going to do all the patchworks. They did do a lot of patchworks, but their patchwork is still patchwork. The patchwork is still eroded. So I think we live in a generation where our politicians are more concerned about, one, from a social outreach, second, from a social media world. And if you don't come out of both and put a very concrete framework in place, you are never going to fix these things. These are very simple things. I'll tell you, last 4-5 days, we've been waiting for this rain that we're seeing in Bangalore. Every weather forecast in our phone, we could see that yesterday in the evening where the first showers were expected. Then we know they're going to be hailstorm. Then we know they're going to be heavy rains for
Yes.
some time. Everything is predictable. We
Yes.
knew everything on our palm, but
Yes.
we never had our politician system waking up and
Absolutely.
getting prepared.
No, you're very right. You're very right. And of course, it's a sad state of affairs, really. We hope corrective steps will be taken very soon. All right, my thanks to all of our guests for joining us.